Those watching the Blue Jays on TV this week have been inundated with commercials about the Ontario government's plans to develop the so-called Ring of Fire. Let's bring in Tina Yazdani now. And Tina, that major project got a big and expensive boost today.
Yes, Cynthia, and this is a project Ontario premiers have been talking about for decades, so you can imagine there is some skepticism around this announcement, but Premier Doug Ford says he will be the one to get this done, to actually build a road to the Ring of Fire, and that could potentially unlock billions of dollars in mineral development and economic activity in the province.
It means a lot to our community.
It is money to drive forward the construction of a long-awaited project. The Ford government is giving almost $40 million to Webequie First Nation to begin early work on the road to the mineral-rich Ring of Fire.
Their children and their grandchildren are going to grow up differently than what they did. We're changing lives up there.
Construction could begin as early as June on the 107-kilometer road that will provide year-round access to and from the Ring of Fire region. About 500 kilometers northeast of Thunder Bay, currently inaccessible by land. The government says it will open up a pathway to economic opportunity for the isolated community, but only if federal assessments are expedited.
We have to move and move quick. Let's get federal government out of the way.
But critics say those assessments are needed, noting Ontario's controversial Bill 5 could designate the Ring of Fire as a special economic zone to speed up development, potentially bypassing environmental protections and consultations with other First Nations communities in the region that will be impacted.
The divide and conquer approach is continuing to this day. The process of free, prior, informed consent is not being done properly.
We have to also be cognizant and respectful of neighboring communities as well.
Once shovels are in the ground, it'll be another estimated 6 years before construction is complete.
We've been talking about this for a long time, and we'll still be talking about it for a long time.
This is a project that is going to take decades and decades in the making.
The Ring of Fire is 5, 10, 15 years away. So I would say to the Premier, let's fast track approvals for mining resources that we already have in areas where we already have infrastructure in place.
And some of that $40 million will also go towards building a community center and a new airport terminal in Webequie First Nation, as well as mental health supports. Cynthia.
Now, Tina, meantime, Premier Ford is trying to play peacemaker following a reported spat over that anti-tariff ad he's running in the U.S., or was running in the U.S. He's just stopped it.
Yeah, this ad just continues to stir controversy, Cynthia. This time it has led to a diplomatic spat in Washington. Apparently, the U.S. ambassador to Canada, Pete Hoekstra, hurled insults at the Ontario trade representative, David Patterson, at a business gala. Apparently, this rant, or tirade, as some have been describing it, was laced with profanities, and it was all regarding that Reagan ad and why Ontario decided to run it. It has prompted Premier Doug Ford to call for an apology. Take a listen.
Pete, you got to call Dave up and apologize. It's simple. You know, the cheese slipped off the cracker. I get it. You're ticked off. But call the guy up because you're a good guy, and Dave's my champion. The guy is just instrumental in these trade deals down in Washington. And, you know, some people get hot. They get heated. I get heated sometimes. But just call the guy up and bury the hatchet.
And as mentioned, that ad campaign has now been paused after Trump canceled trade talks with Canada, but it's unclear when or if trade talks will resume. Cynthia.
Okay, Tina Yazdani, thank you.